Recent studies show that there are just over 5,000 occupational therapists registered with the Health Professions Council of South Africa, with a ratio of 0.9 occupational therapists per 10,000 population. The Academy of Science of South Africa did a consensus study on health professional education, and the results have shown poor retention or absorption of health professionals in the public sector.
South Africa is quite an interesting country because the job opportunities should be there, but unfortunately we have a high number, and it's caused by reasons such as the inability of the private sector to create jobs.
Welcome to another inspiring episode of Stories Untold. South Africa has a low rate of employed occupational therapists. They go to universities, they graduate, but they are not absorbed by the health sector. Our guest today decided not to wait for a job offer and is taking other young people with her.
Sagadi Occupational Therapist is a company that has a staff complement of relatively young people. Our producer Nonhlanhla Mthembu has a sit-down with the CEO of this company.
When I was in grade 7, we did what we call psychometric tests at school, and apparently I have a very strong academic and creative factor. So the counselor advised either said occupational therapy, law, and I think it was industrial psychology. And I guess occupational therapy won first, as much as I love the law and I brought it in at a later stage, but my love for occupational therapy, its uniqueness, and also not knowing any occupational therapists in my hometown at the time. Like I had no reference of what an occupational therapist does. I was the first occupational therapy that I knew. And that for me was such a great encouragement that we can take these services also back to our own people.
After graduating as an occupational therapist, Sagadi did just that. She took her services to the people. Today, this hands-on CEO has 4 branches around South Africa, including one in her hometown in Goangoa. 14 years later, this still remains a choice she made with her heart.
I believe that I'm a helper. I'm here to help people in every form, shape. And I guess it was easy for me to go with a career that involves helping people. I believe my calling is just to help and to solve problems also as well. How are you doing? Was that right?
Yes, I'm still fine.
Any pain or more?
You use one hand. It's just that the leg now starting to pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Not only has this entrepreneur set out to help people with occupational therapy, she is intentional about how she hires at the companies.
The young people that you see here, I believe for them, they're not here for me to keep them here for as long as I can. They're here as a passage. They're here to learn skills that they can use with other employers who can maybe offer them more than I can offer them as a small company. So I attract and I call young people so that I can teach them business skill, I can teach them life skills, I can teach them occupational therapy skills, anything that they will need for the next position in their lives. I believe that young people, the sky is the limit, but they need things that will help them to be able to reach, those next levels and those limits. And most of the young people do not have a training ground for that because of our backgrounds, because of the type of learning and education that we have. We don't have exposure to those skills that you need to make it in the business world, in the corporate world. So for me, this is a stepping stone. It's a platform. I want them to learn as much as they can, get better jobs, start their own businesses, and do well for themselves.
Kolofelo started working for Sagadi immediately after acquiring her diploma.
I started as office administrator and then slowly moved to assessing clients. So now I work as an occupational therapist assistant as well. But I'm also running the office, background information. Mainly we deal with clients that are claiming for the third party. So they will be referred by their attorneys. So by the time they get here, we have their documents, hospital records. The first thing that we need to do is we register their file, and then we start with them collecting background information and then the occupational information. So we need to have an idea of the life that they have, and then so that we can be able to see how the accident has affected them, because mostly we deal with the people who were involved in motor vehicle accidents.
Even after COVID challenges on many businesses, Sagadi still believes in investing in her employees through training and development.
This seasoned occupational therapist and businesswoman is hands-on in her business to make sure that she is able to pass on the skills to the young people she works with.
Assessment on a hand injury.
She has collaborated with other experts in this field to provide training for her employees.
So what I've done for today is just for training purposes is to get a patient to assess a patient who has had a distal radius fracture. So it's a fracture just around this part, right? So basically what you need to have a look at is after the operation, most of them do have an operation, they have a plate and a pin put in there. So after they come to us, they have a lot of swelling in their hands, limitation in movements, even finger movements as well as wrist movements are all limited because of the swelling. So the swelling obviously accumulates there, it becomes big and bulky and almost like fat, and it limits completely all your movements around the hand. So with my hand expertise and Segwati's field of medical legal, we seem to gel quite nicely and blend all our knowledge effectively in treating and assessing our clients as well. It's important to also do a lot of training and keep up to date with information so that the assistants and all the rest of our colleagues are also up to date with specific training in case they do encounter a client that has a hand injury that they need to assess, so that they just know the basic important points to take note of before going into a full through assessment with them. And palm facing down. Those are your specific movements of the wrist, right? We as therapists always want to also give back. We want to share our experiences, we want to share our knowledge so that they can also be effective in their training as well. And in their assessments of clients as well. So to broaden their knowledge and also understanding of the importance of occupational therapy and what impact we have on our clients. But it's also important to have that knowledge in order to impart the knowledge as well.
It was not easy for Sagadi to start the business that is now helping hundreds of people around South Africa.
I had to sacrifice a lot to be able to start off. Some of the equipment that you see, as much as it looks simple, it's not really available in South Africa. So we have to import it. Some of the tests that you saw, you pay up to 150,000 rands. You know, coming from a middle-class family with no startup, I had to make a lot of sacrifices to be able to establish this. Further to that, maintaining this equipment also as well, like I say, it's not readily available and so forth and so forth. We also work with a multitude of clients, for example, the Road Accident Fund, attorneys that work with the Road Accident Fund, insurance company also referred to us, and individuals also referred to us. With 2020, we faced a big challenge as we're not able to work under the lockdown restrictions. So even now, we're still only picking up on some of the financial stresses and the financial strain that we suffered by not being able to conduct any of our work for almost 9 months. Any small business would feel that, and we continue to feel that, but we are gradually picking up, and we are grateful to still have the opportunity.
When it comes to her client, Sagadi takes pride in how she is able to fulfill her dream of helping people.
find a person who's got depression comes here not even being able to wash, not even being able to brush their teeth. And we go through the weekly treatment with them, the monthly treatment with them. We hold their hand to see them leave after 3 months, 6 months, being able to brush their teeth, comb their hair, dress, and even just sit up. To be able to see them enjoy activities and roles that they previously found difficult. As you can imagine, a depressed person doesn't want to go out, doesn't want to do anything. For them to come back and say, I went out with my friends for the first time this weekend. For us, it's a win. Somebody who has a stroke, who's not even able to pick up their own coffee mug, and we put them through the rehabilitation process for them to say, I can prepare a meal for my family, I can clean my house. It's the greatest reward, and that's the help that I'm talking about.
Sagadi explained to us what it is that drives her company.
The loss of your occupation is bound to cause great distress to anybody. Whether it's through an accident, an injury, or life issues, it's bound to be a challenging effect. So our job or our goal is to make sure that whatever occupation is disrupted, we are able either to assist in restoring it, or if we cannot assist in restoring it, we look for alternative ways in which this person can still be able to enjoy an occupation. For example, the client that you saw today, he struggles to walk. And in the long term, the doctor might recommend that he has an amputation. So his leg will never grow back again. So what can we do in occupational therapy? We give him assistive devices, we give him strategies that will help him to be optimally functional and be able to enjoy the father role, the husband role, the worker role, the church role that he plays. So we might recommend, crutches, that he uses crutches, or we might recommend even a wheelchair, for example. We might also recommend that he uses, instead of doing tasks in standing, he must now do tasks in sitting, and we help him with strategies to be able to do that. So whether it's a temporary disruption or a permanent disruption, we are able to come up with help and assistance to be able to help this person to go back and fulfill their life roles that they enjoy.
Despite Sagadi being a successful businesswoman, she still believes in life coaching and emotional intelligence investments, especially for young communities.
This entrepreneur is not all about business. She's a philanthropist with a heart for the next generation.
She will dare to dream. She doesn't believe in small dreams. She'll make your dream bigger. So yeah, she'll motivate you through thick and thin. She's a very strong lady.
And you know your strength. Like I'm saying, for me, waking up at 4 is very easy. But staying up after 8 o'clock in the evening is a big challenge.
I would like to say thank you. Thank you for molding me. If it wasn't for her, I don't think I would pass my matrix, because she motivated me so much.
Our Polokwane producer, Katlego, caught up with Sagadi during one of her community empowerment sessions in Polokwane.
Give her a round of applause.
The rape, the loss, the divorce, the miscarriages, everything, I'm gonna put it together. I believe that this is the season for turnaround, for women to do what they purposefully want to do by empowering each other, not by saying it, but by being there for each other. For strength, providing platforms like today, where we can be able to be vulnerable and to speak without judgment.
This occupational therapist, who also wears other hats as a wife and a mother, had this to say about the impact she wants to make in this world.
Nonhlanhla, maybe my first point of departure should be that I was helped by others, and therefore I need to play it forward and help others also as well. somewhere in a village or in the township of Nkonkwa where I am from, there's a girl who does not know what she wants to study and want to do with her life. There's a girl who's maybe in an abusive home where she does not see a solution. There's a girl who does not know where to get funding for her university studies. There's a girl with low self-esteem. So my help or my passion for the young girl says, how do we reach the young girl at that point of need? I believe I'm a well-rounded person in the type of work that I do, and also the image that I want to portray to the woman and the young girl out there. It's not an image of perfection, or it's not an image of having it all. It's an image of living a healthy and well-balanced life. So I'm very, very big on working hard at the office, but also playing hard outside. It's on your laptop. Yes.
She's a very great leader. She's someone who encourages people to learn more. Even last week we were talking about it. We need to enroll for something, further our studies, so that we can do better things. So she wants people to succeed. Her leadership, I don't know how to describe it, but she's someone who is very straightforward. Yes, and she doesn't get emotionally involved. If it's work, it's work. Then after work, whatever happened at work, it stays there. So it doesn't affect the after work life. Yes, that's what I like about her.
How is she outside the office?
She's a completely different person. She's not the boss that she is when she's at work. She's a completely different person. She's very lovely. She's loud.
Enjoy life amongst all its challenges. I've suffered great blows in my life. Like I said, my mom passed away to cancer. It was a great blow to my family because she was really the pillar of my family. And there was a time where I was downcast, and I said to myself, there must be more to this life. What can I embrace? What can I do? And I had to go out and make sure that life remains pleasurable, enjoyable, regardless of the blows that we face in life.
Thank you, Sagadi, for letting us in on your passions. We have really been inspired. From all of us at Stories Untold, we wish you a safe and joyous festive season. See you next week, same place, same time.